both the Republicans and the Democrats are not very happy today. The Democrats say democracy is dead and it's the end of days, and the Republicans are not very happy that they didn't just sweep the board like they were hoping to. The red wave was promised, and it was absolutely not as big as was predicted. Now, a lot of that was hype. I personally did not think they were going to sweep the board like many were predicting, but yeah, it is what it is. But there were some notable things that happened. The most notable thing, in my opinion, is that the Democrats have elected another brain-damaged candidate. John Fetterman won his race, despite his debate performance, which was genuinely sad. If you don't know, John Fetterman had a stroke, and dude, he just can't, his brain, it just doesn't work. When he talks, it's just bleh,
It's because there's so much is at stake here in this race, and that's why we're staying in this, and that's why we think and we know that it's so much critical that we need somebody that can actually lives in Pennsylvania, understands Pennsylvania, and has dedicated your career of fighting for, Western Pennsylvania.
It's sad. I know, I'm not trying to be funny, but it is actually kind of sad. And even in his victory speech, he was speaking in short sentences, trying not to stumble. And all I can say is, dude, Dr. fucking Oz, what the hell? This is a theme of the 2022 midterms, is that the Republicans, all the races they lost were just really due to the fact that they couldn't make a layup. Their candidates were just terrible. And speaking of terrible candidates, Herschel Walker and Raphael Warnock, holy fucking shit. I am sorry to anybody that lives in Georgia right now. Talk about horrendous candidates on both sides. Would you rather eat shit or drink piss? Because that's pretty much what voting in Georgia seems to be anymore. Another easy layup missed by the Republicans. Why you're running Herschel Walker is bizarre to me. Now, this race isn't over, probably. They're probably going to have a runoff. Nobody got a majority of the votes, so they're doing it again. I do think it's likely that Herschel Walker will win because 3% of the vote went Libertarian, and those 3% are likely going to go vote Republican. That's normally what happens. So despite both of these candidates being terrible, Herschel Walker, I think, has a chance at winning. But Jesus, I don't know. That's just, I am amazed that both candidates are this bad. Next up, Arizona. What the fuck is going on in Arizona? Again, why can't they figure out the voting machines? This was a problem at the very start of the day yesterday. What is the deal with voting in general being such a problem? I just don't remember this. And when I was a kid, I just don't remember this being a problem with vote tallies taking so long. They're talking about not having final counts until Friday. What is the deal? This was never a thing back in the day, or maybe it was and it just wasn't as publicized. I have no idea. Next up, we got Beto O'Rourke losing. That is great. Fuck that guy. The guy that says, that's right, we're coming to take your AR-15s and is running as a governor in Texas. Rest in piss, Beto. That's a win, 100%. Next up, speaking of wins, Ron DeSantis is an absolute force to be reckoned with. At this point, I think it's pretty clear that Ron DeSantis is the future of the Republican Party. It's just a question of when. When is he going to be the future? Is it going to be this time around or next time around? The thing with DeSantis is people are voting for him. People are not voting against the other guy. They are voting for him, and that is very important. And that brings us to Donald Trump. And I think it's pretty clear that Donald Trump is not the guy anymore. That doesn't mean I don't think he could beat Biden. He probably could, but I can't believe I'm saying this. It would probably be close. If he did win, it would be close, and there's a chance he could lose. Whereas with Ron DeSantis, I just don't see him losing. I think a lot of people, including myself, appreciate what Trump did for the Republican Party. Not even policy-wise, but he just normalized being more aggressive. For the longest time, the Republicans would just they'd almost be too nice, whereas Trump would just say, fuck you. And I think a healthy dose of that was absolutely needed, and people are resonating with that more, and the results are better. And honestly, I think it's a good thing for both sides that the tiptoe nature of politics, for the longest time, politics was just everybody tiptoeing around trying to live a perfect life. And nowadays, it's a lot more, I don't know, it's definitely a lot more hostile, but it's also more real. I don't know. I think Trump, politics changed after 2016. I think that's pretty undeniable. And without Trump, I genuinely think our society would be even more insane with woke nonsense, because Trump did give a lot of people courage to speak out against it, whether that be politicians or actual people. He did a great service, but he was unhinged. That's the thing. He was unhinged, and there is a lot of liability with Donald Trump. The thing with Trump is that he's just really easy to make a boogeyman out of, and so many people are already poisoned against him, whereas DeSantis is nowhere near the boogeyman Trump is. And he's a new guy. You know, he's got that new flair, whereas Trump's luster is over. Like his 2016, wow, I've never seen a guy like this before. It's played out. Donald Trump at this point is the sequel to the original movie that was better. He's not going to top himself in 2016. And maybe he doesn't have to win in 2024, but I think DeSantis would absolutely win. And I think DeSantis would get 8 years, because I think towards the end, like let's say DeSantis wins his first term, I think the economy, I think we're going to go into a recession for a little bit, but I think towards the end of DeSantis's first term, I would think the economy would probably start recovering and you'd get another term out of him. Whereas with Trump, even if Trump wins, bro, it's first of all, he can't run again, but I think it's just going to poison the well, even if he did, because first of all, he's old. He's too old. Everybody knows I really don't like all these old people running, Democrat, Republican, whatever. But too old. He's going to say some crazy shit. He's going to have some gaffes. It's going to get ugly just due to the age alone. Anyway, we'll know soon enough. Trump is apparently going to be having some big announcement where he'll likely tiptoe around the fact if he's running or not. I doubt we'll get anything genuinely concrete. But wouldn't it be crazy if he came out and endorsed Ron DeSantis? That would be insane. What a fucking Avengers moment that would be. But that's never going to happen. That's purely fantasy. The only way I see the Republicans losing the presidency in 2024 is if they just beat each other up way too much in the primaries. I don't know. I just don't see it happening. So anyway, let me know what you guys think of the comments down below. Have a good one. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to subscribe with notifications on. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and join the Discord. It's free.